What's going on, guys? It's your boy the Markham Knight here. Today's video is going to be all about the Batman and James Gunn's DCU. We do know that most of the universe is going to get rebooted. We know that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill will not be coming back to reprise their roles as Batman and Superman. I did do a video for guys I thought could take over the Superman role, so here's my video for guys that I feel like could take over the Batman role. And we don't know as much about this Batman as we knew about the Superman role, because James Gunn did say he wanted to do a younger Superman, kind of his earlier days in the Daily Planet, but he did also mention that these will not be origin stories, so I feel like we're probably going to get Batman in maybe his early 30s, and kind of see him also a little bit into the earlier years, but more experienced than the Superman. So these are some actors I feel like could probably fill that role pretty well. So the first guy I want to get into is Miles Teller. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Miles Teller, he was most recently in Top Gun Maverick, and he's been in a lot of good movies like War Dogs and some other stuff. He's been a very good actor for a very long time. I just feel like he kind of needs that one role to kind of bring him to the forefront a little bit more. He has the looks of a Bruce Wayne. He has the features, and he has the acting chops as well. He's also 6 feet tall. He's 35 years old, so he'd perfectly fit into that. He could play about 30, he could also play about 40 if he needs to, so he can kind of do that middling role really, really well to contrast with a younger Superman. The next guy I like is actually a lot younger. It's Ansel Elgort. Ansel Elgort is basically, he's the guy from Baby Driver, but I don't think you should just associate Baby Driver with him. If you look at him in Tokyo Vice or in some of the other stuff he's been in, he's a great actor, and he really has the acting chops. While he doesn't have natural kind of chiseled features and stuff that some of the other actors on the list have, he does have the acting chops that some of these other actors don't have. And he's really, really young. So you can start a younger story with him and have him grow with the Superman kind of at the exact same age type thing. Because I do feel like they're going to get a Superman who's in his late 20s, and he could definitely play late 20s, but he's going to kind of be able to grow with the character as well. My next guy that I wanted to talk about is actually the runner-up to play the Batman that Robert Pattinson got to play in Matt Reeves' Batman, and it's Nicholas Hoult. So for those who are unfamiliar with him, he was Beast on X-Men. He looked good in that part. Obviously, he'd have to put on a lot more muscle naturally onto his body. He's 6'2.5", so he's a pretty tall figure. He's also 33 years old. Miles Teller is only 6 foot. Although Ansel Elgort is 6'3", so you have some of the taller guys to kind of contrast. It kind of depends on what they're going to go for. I don't think we need necessarily a towering Batman, but it would be nice to have a nice imposing figure as Batman. And I do feel like Nicholas Hoult can he can do more than what he was given with. So seeing him kind of play that role would be kind of cool. He did miss out just by a little bit to Robert Pattinson, so seeing him be able to play it here would be very cool. And again, he's 33 years old, so he'd be able to play that early 30s to mid 30s Batman very well to contrast with the younger Superman. And the final guy that I had on my list for kind of a more of a natural selection would be Tom Bateman. For those who are unfamiliar with Tom Bateman, he is more of a lesser known actor. He was in Death in the Nile most recently. He's 33 years old. He's also 6'2", so you got the height, you got the body kind of. Again, all these guys would have to put on a little bit of mass, but he has the natural looks of a Bruce Wayne, and I feel like they could probably play those roles well. And all these guys would be very good at playing the Batman and the contrast with the Bruce Wayne, and that's kind of what we didn't get with Robert Pattinson. These guys are a little bit older, so they'd be able to play it more kind of developed a little bit. Maybe he could be like 8 years or 7 years into crime fighting, whereas Superman might be in year 3 or 4 or year 2 or 3, and they can kind of get to know each other together and grow from there. But Tom Bateman is probably my top pick to be Batman. Again, I'd be okay with any of these picks, but that's another pick for me. I didn't really like any of the ideas of some of these older guys everybody's naming. We got a lot of names like Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Hardy. We got some crazy names out there that people who are way too old to be playing these roles, who are either in their mid-40s or later, if they wanted to keep an old Batman, they could have just kept Ben Affleck, and they could have just kept going in that direction, but clearly they want to tell some different stories, so I don't think you need an old grizzled Batman. I think you should get a Batman in the prime of his career. My final pick here is more of an honorable mention, and it's mostly for the people who are suggesting names like Michael B. Jordan or Idris Elba or something. If you want to see kind of a different Batman or a different Bruce Wayne, or see some color in the character or see something different in the character, I feel like this guy would fit that role a lot better. Henry Golding. Henry Golding, those of you unfamiliar with it, he was in Snake Eyes, he was great in The Gentleman, and he was also in Crazy Rich Asians, but he basically would do a Bruce Wayne role pretty well. I mean, he looks the part. He looks like he could be mixed, so you could have Thomas Wayne be white, or Martha Wayne be white, and the other mother or father be Asian or something like that. Or you can just have them complete Asian descent. Obviously, rich Asians is kind of a thing, so having them kind of be a power figure in Gotham would work out really well too. I feel like it could be done really well if they did that. That's just if they're trying to go in a very different direction than obviously the clear Batman and Bruce Wayne that we've always known and loved. I mean, the only issue I would have with that is that the Wayne family is kind of ingrained in Gotham for so long, and they have so much history there that it's kind of important for them to be white. And that's the only thing I would take from that. But if they did want to go in a different direction, I feel like Henry Golding would be the perfect guy to play Bruce Wayne to fill that role. Anyways, guys, these are 5 actors I feel like would play the role pretty well. Tell me what you think.
This is the Markham Knight, and I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.